Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am Reader J. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Capricorn in July 2019. Excuse me. What's going on, Capricorn? How you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. All right, guys, July 2019. If you are from the States or in the States and you like a good barbecue, I hope you celebrated your 4th of July very well. So happy belated. It's not a phrase, but I'm going to use it anyway. Happy belated 4th of July for those who were celebrating. I'm quite jealous because I was working, so boo-hoo me. All right, Capricorn. Anything else? Yeah, quick apologies for those who were looking forward to the mid-Junes. I got tired. I had no juice in my battery, and I was just like not able to really connect spiritually, so I did not do them. But I'm here now with the monthlies, and I will be back with the mids for July. Promise, promise, promise. Anything else? No, that's it. Capricorn, that's your main spread there. Shuffled off camera to save time. We'll shuffle now on camera for your outcome and your overall energy. Once all the cards are out and they're lying face up on the table, that's when the reading begins. There's a timestamp in the description box if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. It's just a few simple steps. You order from 3 different types of readings that I offer, and we're good to go once you send me all that information that I asked for down there. But if you have a question before you place an order, feel free to email me at the same address. I will answer your question with haste, okay? Anything else? No, ma'am, no, sir. Let's get into it. Show me Capricorn's outcome for July 2019. I want to see Capricorn's outcome in July 2019. Please show me. Oh my. I keep feeling like something has flipped, but it didn't flip. There it goes onto the ground. Perfect. That's sarcasm. It's not perfect when it falls on the floor. I hate it when it falls on the floor. Bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Oh, it came like that on the ground, so that's how we're going to take it. Let's flip what came face down for you, Cap, and let's figure out what's going on with your situation. This is going to be interesting. Let's find out what's going on. Please show me Capricorn in July 2019. Please show me Capricorn in July 2019. Please show me. Okay. Is that right? One more time, please. One more time. Okay, good. It was okay. Thank you. Jeez. I guess I shouldn't have asked for clarification there. All right, Capricorn, coming into July, you come in with the Magician. Oh boy. So, secondary major arcana ruled by Mercury. So, secondary major arcana associated with Gemini and Virgo. As the Magician is ruled by, like I said, Mercury. And Mercury's in retrograde, guys, if you didn't already know. I'm not up on the astrology. I know, like, there's a ton more planets, and I think the moon is also doing some crazy eclipse thing. So, a lot of astrological activity. But Magician is normally a card or an energy, or gets associated with energy of creationism, or being a creator, a co-creator with the universe, right? And being sort of a man or a woman of your own making, you know, much like this, you know, appliance salesman would kind of have us believe, at least, you know, in my lifetime, I remember going to the mall, going to places like Sears, or strolling through Strawbridge's or even Macy's or something, and you just have these people who are out on the floor, you know, engaging customers, trying to get a sale, trying to get them to buy the latest, greatest, whatever, warranties, extended warranties, all that kind of stuff. And there's just this constant, you know, throwing out of a line out to the masses, trying to get a fish on the line and reel it in. You know, and that's kind of what I feel is here, like this salesman, fisherman, trying to make a connection, trying to get things to go your way. And that's basically what the magician is all about. You know, the magician is a co-creator, like I said, where if he or she wants something, I only say he because there's a man on the card, so obviously there's no gender. If you're a female watching this and you're a Capricorn, you're like, oh, that doesn't, it does apply. So no gender here, guys. But there is this energy of, I want this, or I'm after this, or I desire to see this as a part of my reality. How can I make it so? Now, in the case of a salesman or a fisherman, their goal is to either catch a fish or make a sale, right? Because commissions, bigger paycheck, bonuses, all that kind of stuff. Fish, I get to eat, I get to mount it on my wall, whatever. So you do have this expansive? A long set goal, thank you. You have a long set goal down the line. What does Capricorn want? You know, some of you, like I said, if you're a fisher man or woman in a boat, and, you know, some of you are looking for the white whale, you know, you're out there looking for your great big catch. If you're a salesman, you're looking for the person who, you know, they teach you that kind of stuff when you work retail. Like, oh, look out for these signs of somebody who's willing to spend money, and then make sure you offer them the upsell, and make sure you offer them the warranty, and make sure that you ask them if they have a store credit card. You know, you get clued in on your target, and you chase down your target, whether you're fishing in a boat or whether you're standing behind a counter looking to make a sale. And I feel that's here for you. Whatever you're after, and it's not coming in clearly to me just yet, but you have this long-term goal and you're out to get it no matter what. The magician is not easily daunted, is not easily persuaded away from his goals or away from what he wants to accomplish, whatever he wants to achieve. He usually holds that goal in mind and he chases it down. And that's kind of innately a part of the magician's energy. You know, he doesn't give up, doesn't believe that he's incapable or not, you know, suited for the job or well informed enough to take on the adversity. Whatever it is, he's a can-do attitude. Again, only because there's a male on the card. So Capricorn, you're in a position where you're ready, willing, and able to take on all challengers, to take on all obstacles, and really conquer in order to get the reward or to achieve the goal, to make the sale, to make the connection, to get the fish on the line, in the boat, at home, scaling it, and then grilling it up, gutting the fish, doing whatever, or mounting it on your wall, whatever you want to do. And there's like a dog with a bone or like a laser focus on this thing. Like, I don't even know what it is. I just feel like very zoned in. Like, I feel like very laser focused, funneled energy of zoop. And I got blinders on. I'm not able to see anything else but what I want. And I'm feeling it in my gut. I'm feeling that in my solar plexus. So a lot of you, this is coming from a position or a place of self-belief, or like you're self-prophesizing. You're giving yourself pep talks, or you're meditating on something. You're praying. You're talking to strategists. If this is a business thing, if this is something to do with your money, you're talking to experts in the field. If you want to start a business, or if you're trying to get into something that involves legalese, you call up a lawyer. You call a friend who's a lawyer, or you look somebody up in the phone book, even though that doesn't exist anymore, but you know what I mean. And you really are driving straight down the line towards whatever you want. Along the way, you use your different resources. That's the other thing about the magician. He has different resources at his disposal. In the traditional tarot, you will see him in front of a table that has a pentacle, a cup, a sword, and a wand on it, or very much close by, and he picks those different tools up, those different resources up along the way as he needs them, and he utilizes them as he needs them. So, okay, I want to do this. Maybe you're writing something, or you're trying to publish something, so you need to talk to an editor, or you need to talk to somebody about getting the rights to a certain person's story life, or getting the rights to mention something within your book, getting the rights if you're if your book has illustrations or pictures, you need to call the photographer, call the artist that made this piece of work, and you'd be like, listen, I'm trying to publish this book. Please sign off on these rights. You know, then you go and you work with your oh God, what are those people called? I can't remember their names, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. It's like you go to other people or you go to certain places, you utilize your own abilities, and you go very nimbly, like very like, what's it called? Effortlessly, but like athletically almost, like running hurdles or something, or like running a decathlon or a triathlon or something. I'm going to do the bike now, I'm going to do the swimming now, and then I'm going to do the running. It's just like, I'm going to use my skills at the correct time. That's really cool. That's really cool. But also, it's kind of what I expect from a Capricorn. You know? You guys are one of the workhorses of the zodiac, and you usually get shit done that you set your mind to. It's like, oh, I want this? Okay, now I'm going to get that. You know? And it's usually much more reserved and quiet of an accomplishment as opposed to someone like an Aries, you know? No offense if any Aries are cross-watching, but you know, they usually gloat along the way, or they're usually very celebratory once they get it. A Capricorn gets it, it's like you tip your hat to yourself. You go, you know, you give yourself like a little nod in the mirror, like, yeah, I did that. I did that. And that's okay. So anyway, so that's where you start. Yeah, because well, let me double check. Yes, because that's a whole different thing, and we'll talk about it when we get there, but I think we're going to remain on the outsides, yes? Yes, okay, good. All right, so above your starting position, you have the Chariot. Major Arcana card for Cancer, so you might be dealing with a Cancer, but you do not have to be. If you've been around me or any other tarot channel, you probably know it's not really that important. But the Chariot, as you can see, is a card that it's probably going to indicate some type of travel or some type of movement or progression. And that definitely fits into that Magician thing because, again, long-term goals, something down the line, something down the road, something upcoming. Like there's this upcoming energy with that Magician energy. With the Chariot right above you, that would just kind of signal this is definitely your focal point. Your focal point is to move forward. Your focal point is to make a decision, left or right, up or down, you know, east or west, and just go there. Now, I used a lot of terminology just now that involved or that could give you like the visualization of travel, and that might be true for some of you. Some of you want to move out of your town, out of your state, your country, whatever. Some of you want to move in terms of just get out of your 2-bedroom apartment and into a 4-bedroom home. It could be something like that. You want to upgrade. In other cases, it's not about physical movement. It is just about progression in terms of job, in terms of relationship, in terms of development within yourself, whatever it is. But there's this drive in you to focus and really just hammer towards the next step. Now, okay, here we go. For some of you, this involves running away or an abandoning. Okay, that's a heavy one. Ditching. Oh my God, that's not a better word. But for some of you, okay, maybe that's like what you're really working with. You're really working with this energy of running away, of ditching or abandoning something that has already been established in your life. Okay, so maybe those words are more indicating like how adamant you are, how fired up you are, how much in some cases you feel you're in a rush to do this, in a panic to do this, in a pressing need to just be done with something previous till now. A previous relationship, a previous job, a previous living situation, whatever. And Capricorn, you're very good at that. Cutting something off at the knees, basically, you know, nipping something in the bud. Absolutely. You can cut that shit right off. And that is what I'm feeling here. It's like a charge forward. Not looking back, not checking over your shoulder to see if whoever is supposed to be with you are with you. If they're with you, they're with you. If they're not, fuck them. You know, it's really kind of this, for my own sanity, for my own well-being, for my own desires and fulfillment. I have to move like right now. Like yesterday, I needed to be out of this situation. I needed to be out of this house. I needed to be out of this job. I needed to be out of this relationship. Whatever you're moving away from and moving towards, you know. And I'm seeing like a very track. Like I'm seeing a very track. I am seeing a track. I'm seeing a route. I'm seeing a distinct line on a page, like a map, that shows you're here in point A, point B is over here, and you're like zip, 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 and you know where you want to go. You know how you want to get there. And there's this no nonsense of, I will not be held back. I will not be delayed. If people want to come with me, they're welcome to come with me. They're welcome to join me on this journey. But if they don't want to, they don't have to. No nonsense. Good for you. And the prominent can of food or can of soup that these two women have picked up at the grocery store, that primary one in the center, says risk. So as much as I'm saying this with clear words and I feel calm about it, there is risk here for you. This isn't some walk in the park for many of you. Some of you, maybe it is. Maybe it's a cakewalk. But for most of you, this is not something that it comes easily to you, or circumstantially it's not easy. Because again, if you're doing something and some of your resources or elements of support are actually other people with expertise, knowledge, or skills, okay, say you want to renovate something in your home. Maybe you don't want to leave your home, but you certainly want to change something in your home. Or you are moving your homes. You're moving across state lines. Let's just go with that. You need, for your big ticket items or your heavy items in your house, you need a moving company. So you're rip-roaring ready to go. Let's move all this shit over here because I'm ready to leave. But you have to enlist the help of a moving company or a moving service or your friends. If you don't want to, pay a company, you have to, get that friend with the pickup truck or that friend who has the flatbed or something like that. And so that involves enlisting somebody else, asking for their time, asking for their effort, and maybe having to pay them money. That's a whole lot of other elements that are essentially a risk, essentially a gamble, essentially not assured. If Capricorn had Capricorn's way, Capricorn would clone themselves and do this thing all by themselves. Capricorn is definitely like that. I'll do it myself. Everybody sit down. I got it. Hold my beer. I got this. So there's that risk here where we're asking other people for help, support, resources, expertise, whatever. The risk also comes from actually going on that journey, traveling down that route. Moving to this whole brand new state or town or country or whatever you're doing, going to this new job, getting in this new relationship, or leaving a relationship and living that single life for a while, whatever you're doing. The risk is there because it's different, it's new, you haven't encountered it before, or it's been a while since you've encountered this experience, and now we're going to roll the dice and see what shakes out, right? Okay. Now, yeah, that's a whole different thing. They're like blocking me from that. So we'll talk about that at the end, I guess. Now, over on the other side, interestingly, okay, so what does that mean on the other side? Because again, Magician and the Chariot together, we're talking about progression and distances and moving from one place to another, a whole different trajectory, a whole different pathway, right? So on the other side, you've got this. So letting it go, yes. Getting back to you, good. Getting back to you. Pick it up. There we go. Four of Swords in reverse. I'll show you this upright so you become used to it. So Four of Swords, traditionally in the upright, talks about rest, respite, relaxation, and reflection, and all of those things are good. In the Four of Swords, I feel that you're done doing that, or you're so busy that maybe you should take time to do it. That's for a few of you. Like, you haven't done that enough and you absolutely need to get this energy turned in the upright and utilize it and take it on board and be like, listen, on the weekends, take a break. You might be going hard at something 24/7, or in all of your waking hours. If you do that, you run the risk of burning yourself out. So some of you do need to take a rest. That's why it's in reverse. Others of you, I think this is for most of your cases, you've done that enough. You've had time to reflect. You've had time to relax. You've had time to really, clear your head and weigh your options out and really figure out your next best move. And again, because we talked about it over here on these two cards, you're raring to go. You're just chomping at the bit to get things underway. Now, additionally, with this Four of Swords in reverse, there's a lack of for some, there's a lack of expression, okay? So you might be making a lot of moves, but you're not really telling other people what it all means. So you might be in a panic to get your bags packed and go off to wherever, or you might be in a rush to get on the phone with these contacts and really, get this creative idea going, but people don't know, like, what's the rush? People don't understand, like, why are you so panicked about this? Why are you so desperate for this to happen? So there is a lack of explanation on your part. I don't know that it's necessarily good or bad. I don't know that that's necessarily something you need to indulge people with and, give them a rhyme and a reason to what you're doing. I'm just letting you know. Some people are looking at you like, hey, Capricorn. They might not be saying it, but they're looking at you like, what the hell is going on with Capricorn? Like, he or she is, like, so revved up here. I don't understand. And in that case, instead of rest and relaxation, or maybe in combination with rest and relaxation, just take your time. Some of you, this is an issue of, because swords are the fastest of the suits, the fastest quality, right? Quick. So some of you just need to slow it down a little bit. You can still move towards your goal, just maybe don't expect to get there as quickly as you might originally intend. Or if there are delays, or if there is, again, you push yourself to the point of burnout and you, like, get mandated bed rest, or God forbid you, like, fall out because of dehydration, or you pass out because of low blood sugar or something like that. God forbid any of that stuff. You don't want to get forced to the point. You don't want to get forced to stop. You don't want to get forced to take a break. Some of you run that risk. So know yourself, know your body, know the people that you're dealing with. If you have to explain things to a person in order for them to help you or to get the best out of them, do that. There's nothing wrong with it. But a lot of you are just, like, so revved up and go that you're gonna come close, if not absolutely have, like, a little bit of a crash and burn, or maybe not a crash and burn, but, like, you're gonna get a flat tire, and I'm not trying to hex you or anything like that. I just feel that in your rush to get it all done as soon as possible, you can overshoot the mark or miscalculate something, miss a detail, maybe ruffle some feathers over here, and there's just a need to take just a little bit of a break. And that's sort of the ironic thing, because, like I said, I feel previous to now, a lot of you have been in that very quiet, reflective space, and now that you're, like, the gates are open and the opportunity is before you, and you see the route that you want to take, now you're just like, okay, I'm out, I'm doing it. And so now it's like a no looking back. I think I said that over here, like, not even looking over your shoulder to check what you're leaving behind or who you're leaving behind. So there's a little bit of irony with that Four of Swords in reverse. Beneath it is a Cup. So all of this, because this is across the way from your Magician, and it's that thing that I said, the Magician wants something down the line, but I can't see what it is. I think it's this. Ace of Cups. So refreshed, renewed, revitalized, and reinvigorated emotions. Now, Cups tend to lean towards romantic relationships or feelings of amorous and connection with other people that can be romantic, but I wouldn't hammer heavily on that. Some of you are absolutely like, yes, new relationship, or, new partners, new dating, new this, new that, cool. This is more speaking to emotions within yourself, feeling rebooted and reconnected with some sense of calm. some sense of stability and evenness and just like mellowness. You know, some of you are in a panic, in a rush to get away from a very volatile situation, a very unpredictable situation, a very tumultuous and maybe even a situation with a lot of contempt, maybe. Like, and that could, for some of you, that is a relationship where you and your partner were like at each other's throats, or he or she just would not leave you alone, were hounding you over the littlest things, and you just like have had enough. And so this Ace of Cups comes along in that particular situation where it's just like you can breathe easily. You're not like constantly in a state of anxiety, in a state of, oh my God, what is he going to say to me today? Oh shit, here she comes. I hope she doesn't, notice this. And it's just like this wariness, like feeling so exhausted by this person or exhausted by the things that they say or do with you. And it's just like this Ace of Cups, once you get on the road or get away from or move, whatever you're doing, you eventually get to this place where we can be open again. You know, when you're anxious, when you have anxiety, you're very tense, right? You're very closed in and like really like you shrink yourself down. You minimize your body like into like a little ball, like almost in a fetal position, right? And some of you may have been like living that way, sleeping that way, going to sleep with knots in your stomach because of tension between you and your partner, or tension between you and anybody who you love and have feelings for. That could be tension with your best friend or tension with your parents or your child. It doesn't matter. And so for you, Capricorn, we want to no longer feel that way. We want to get away from walking on eggshells and feeling like we don't have anything to offer here, or feeling that what we have to offer is taken for granted, or what we have to offer isn't appreciated. And you want to just get to a place where you can even appreciate yourself, where that someone else will appreciate you. Someone else will give you the support, the love, and the care that you need. Yeah, in a reciprocated energy. Like this card is actually very deep, but I'm not being given too much of a specific. I'm trying to speak in generalities because I feel for some of you, it's still a very tender subject. It's still a very, the wound is not healed. It's barely been bandaged. It's barely been stitched up. Like, this is fresh for a lot of you. So I don't want to go too deep into it, but I really do want to speak more to whatever your situation is. And it doesn't have to be from a volatile place. It doesn't have to be from a very uncomfortable place. For some of you, it's just discontentment. And now we get to a place of contentment. Some of you, it's feeling uninspired, and now we get to a place of inspiration, okay? Whatever you're moving towards with this Ace of Cups, it's a chance, it's an opportunity to really settle down into something that feels calm, that feels supportive, that feels loving, that feels all kinds of positive emotions for you. It's not here on the board specifically, but there was this like not so nice thing that you're getting out of. Could have just been stress. You know, could have just been, like I said, down here with the Magician, working a high-stress job in sales or in retail or real estate or anything like that. You know, you could be working a hellish job with your body. It could have been physically demanding. You were physically exhausted all the time. Now you get to a job where you're less physical. Maybe you're retiring. And now you can enjoy, that time out on the boat. I went from a high-stress job where I worked, 60 hours a week for, 15 years, 20 years. Now I'm retiring. Now I can fish all day. Maybe that's what you're moving towards, yeah? So now we get to the center of this. And this is interesting because for those who are seasoned around here, you know what this is. But for those who are new, I'll explain. What we have in the center is a triplet. I only ever intend to lay 6-card spreads. We get the triplet when we get 2 cards in a position where one normally is. The triplet normally is telling a complementary story or a story of something separate than what we talk about in the 4, okay? This is also interesting because the triplet rarely appears in the center. It's usually off to one side or the other. So this could be the center of everything that we talked about on the outside. I guess we'll find out together, yeah? So let's take a look. Oh, Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so for some of you, this is really going to speak heavily to those where, we were recently talking about some type of romantic relationship or some type of very deep connection, if not romantic, okay? Yeah. Which one, please? Which one? Yes, okay. So, this relationship, I'm feeling for many of you, it is a romantic one of all types: dating, marriage, long term, short term, revolving door relationship. You break up, you make up, you break up, you make whatever. The quality or the type of relationship romantically is going to be different. This will apply to a few of you in your family sector, but this is heavily, I'm telling you right now, this is heavily for people who have some type of romantic tie to someone else. Okay? Three of Cups. Oh, man. This person to you, or you to them, or you to each other, the one. Yeah? Feels like the one. And this is not a card traditionally of the one. What I am being drawn to is how these two energies, or these two contents from these two glasses above, are being poured equally into the glass below, and they're mixing up. The purple plus the pink equals, the blue plus the pink equals purple. So there's this amalgamation, there's this synergistic thing going on here. Now, we have an issue, or we're going to have a few issues, potentially, because this mix between you and another person, one, for some of you, resulted in a baby, or has resulted in several babies, several children, or is tender, vulnerable like a baby, or volatile like a baby can be. Babies are cute and everything, but they're like little screaming sacks of flesh, and they have a lot of needs, and they can keep you up all night, and they can get sick, and then they make you sick, and it's like this whole shit show. No offense, anyway. And for those who don't know, I don't resonate with children, so I speak about them very cavalierly because I just don't connect well with children. But as much as babies are viewed to be precious, they're also and tender and vulnerable, and they need protection, they also are trying, and they're challenging. So some of you out there have children in this situation, with this other person, this partner of yours, whatever status you have with this partner, I don't know. Others of you, just the two of you together, is just as sensitive and vulnerable, and also volatile and wearisome as a newborn baby would be. When you guys get together, sometimes it's cute and cuddly, other times it's all night fights, from sundown to sunup. You guys are just up at each other's throats, screaming at the top of your lungs. Like, that's what I mean. The other thing that's troublesome here is that this is the Three of Cups, not the Two of Cups. And you guys already know, or if you don't know, I'm going to tell you. I don't jump down and pick up on soulmate stuff and twin flame anything. I've said twin flame. This is probably the 5th time I've actually said that word on camera. So I'm not here for that kind of stuff. I believe in it. I think a lot of people have that journey, but for my readings and how I connect with this community thus far, nah, that's not at the forefront here. But for some of you, this Three of Cups is feeling like a Two of Cups, even though it's a 3. And the next thing I'm going to say is the other thing that I don't normally say: third party situation. Some of you have been in a relationship with someone that either stemmed from a third party situation, meaning your soulmate is coming from you, like you met them in a third party situation, okay? Or they are involved in one now, or you're involved in one now, but you think it's with a soulmate, or you believe it's with a soulmate, or you just believe it's with someone of a particularly profound connection, soulmate or not, okay? This shit is complicated. It's very, very confusing, or what's this? Irritating for some of you, agitating, but also deliciously intoxicating. Wow, so specific with those adjectives. Deliciously intoxicating. Like, look at that. Mixology. Yeah? What Kool-Aid are you making? What delicious cocktail are you two making together? It's a weird thing, Capricorn. I don't know. First of all, I don't know how many people that would resonate with, but I hope you get it. Where this connection with this person, regardless of whether or not you have children with them or anything like that, is just like so potent. And on one hand, it feels amazing to be with this person. You never met anyone like them. You've never kissed anybody like them. You never fucked somebody like that, or they've never fucked you like that. Like, it's amazing. And I rarely get into that type of, conversation in general. Like, we'll say it in a private, but I'm not usually saying it out here in the public. But y'all have had some amazing sex. Like, blew your back out. Call into work the next day. I can't make it. I cannot walk. It's that good, and if you like, slow, tender love, then it rocks your world in that way. But there's just, so on that side, it's amazing. You guys just like, but on the other side, it's super disturbing, super dysfunctional. Cats and dogs fighting, passive-aggressive behavior, control issues in some cases, right? I see that. Control issues, like somebody's like in your phone, jealous over you. You're jealous over them. And you've never been jealous before in your life. Or they, just like some, a relationship that beats them all. Or is just going to remain so significant to you from this point in your life till the end of your life. You will never forget this person, whether you're with them now, you were with them before, you'll be with them again in the future. I don't know. And again, it's coming across. And guys, if you've been with me, you know I don't do this. This, for a lot of you, is a soulmate. Your estimation of soulmate. My estimation, some of you. But if you are like, this is my soulmate, whatever way that hits your ear, if you are delighted to hear that, or if you're petrified to hear that, in a lot of your cases, that's what's going on. I am weary and tentative about this connection because I know it is very strong, and it's a deep link, especially for those that share children with this person. Children are an investment and a commitment. You can't, it happens all the time. Parents screw off and they disappear into the night. It's not a guarantee that you always have to co-parent with someone, but I feel for whoever has a child or children with this other person, have an investment with the child, and you both have interest in seeing the child or the children progress. Therefore, you two will remain entangled because of the child. Does that make sense? Like, I wish you could feel what I'm like, okay, that's enough. Like, I don't even want to talk more about that because it's just going to be there. Now, Jesus Christ. Yes, this makes sense. So, Queen of Swords and the Nine of Wands right beneath it. Hi. Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Some of you might be dealing with one of those signs. That could be this zodiac that you're dealing with in this relationship. It does not have to be. And the Nine of Wands next to it. Okay, listen, Queen of Swords. Oh, Jesus Christ. This person is intense. Like, hot and cold, night and day. Who is this person? Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde right here. That kind of makes sense. I don't remember that story too well, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, but I remember Dr. Jekyll is a brilliant scientist, right? Very smart, very accomplished, super I think Dr. Jekyll was respected in the science community. I could be totally wrong. I read that like in middle school, so I don't know. But there's like two sides to this person. The very accomplished, very refined side, well-to-do, presentable to, public, walks out in public, doesn't look strange, acts normally. And then Mr. Hyde comes out, raving, manic, like a maniac, out of control, impulsive, destructive. God, who the F is this? It's either you or your partner. Okay? And the thing about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, I think, is like, number one, they lived in the same person, right? That's the bottom line of that story. They exist in the same person. And I think it was, I can't remember, and the story has been retold and re-envisioned several times, but I feel like there was at some point a vying of control between who was going to primarily own the body or present out into the world. Was it going to be Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde? So maybe that's what's going on here. Is like, who, like what side, what face, what personality within your partner or within you is going to reign supreme, right? Be the dominant figure. Now, away from Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, the qualities of the Queen of Swords are pretty much that. Hot and cold. She can be warm as the Queen of Swords can be, but she can be normal. Normal, quote unquote normal. She can be pleasant enough. Look at her. She's tending a garden, or she's pruning her roses, right? She's not an evil ice queen. But look at what she's doing. Getting ready to chop that rose, the head of that rose, or off. The flower, just get ready to snip it. Like, choo, we're done. So there's this ability to cultivate, this ability to nurture, this ability to take care of business, to be, quote unquote, normal. A normal woman tending her rose bushes. But there's this like slightly vindictive or incredibly sadistic element to this person. I am not a fan. I want to get out of here. 9 of Wands. Okay, here we go. I want to get out of here. Look what we have. Look at this escape artist. Climbing up a ladder straight up into wherever, trying to escape. 9 of Wands, traditional tarot will depict a man with a bandage on his head, surrounded by a bunch of wands, looking beat up, looking quite defeated, and still putting up a fight. So there's that, what I was saying with you and this person. There's a there's a desire to get away from or not have to deal with this person. But that 9 of Wands, traditional interpretation, the wounded warrior wants to be done fighting, doesn't want to have to stand his ground or man his post anymore. He's been assaulted, he's been attacked, he's got bandages on his head, he looks really messed up. But the innate message with that card, and here too, is stay in the fight. Can't go anywhere. Because, I mean, look at this woman. She's trying to escape the work below her, the duty below her, right? Mops and brooms and brushes and all that kind of stuff. I'm meant to be, scrubbing the floors, but I'm taking this ladder up to where? Nowhere. Look where that ladder is going. Nowhere. So there's this maybe slightly contradictory energy going on here. Because what did we talk about in the 4? You want to get out of Dodge, you want to move towards something new, calmer, all that kind of stuff. I think that that's true, but in the center of everything, look at the placement. The center of everything is this very contained, very volatile energy. This very magnetic pull towards a person and a situation and circumstances and specifics, the children and all that kind of stuff, the bonding that you have, that is sometimes good, sometimes bad, but overall I feel quite detrimental or painful or difficult. Again, you're going to be some of you are going to be tied to this because you have children with this person. You can't abandon your children, and there's nothing, between you and this partner that prevents them from being in the child's life. Therefore, you have to be there too. Does that make sense? Oh, shit, buddy. Others of you, like I said, that's soulmate energy. You want to get away from them, and you get away from them for a time, but then you're like, oh shit, I'm still in love with them. Or, oh man, nobody did me like they did me. I need to call him up. You can do that if you want to. I don't recommend. Ooh, that came on suddenly. Hold on a second. All right, Capricorn, I apologize about that. Something caught my throat, like it did in the... What did I just do? Sagittarius' reading. So must be something in the air in here. I might need to check that out. Anyway, so what was I saying? All right, with this whole thing here in the center. Well, I was kind of wrapping that up, but something else hit me while I was getting a drink was with that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing. Whoever the Queen of Swords is, they might struggle with that polarity between themselves. Could be you, could be the partner. I don't know who it is in this situation. But that person, as much as I was like, oh no, like get away from that person, and like, oh my God, they're so, not evil, but they're just like, beware, beware. There is a chance that that person within themselves feels really disturbed by their own behavior, by their own, oscillation between these two extremes. And it's a concern for them because it's next to them, right? This Queen of Swords energy, this, hot and cold, night and day switcheroo person is right next to this card of weariness, card of being tired, exhausted, of having to continue to deal with something even though you don't want to continue to deal with it. So not to give excuses and not to, give somebody a pass to be a complete, asshole or something, but there is a little, for some of them, not all of them, but for some of them, there is this, I wish I could be better, or I'm sorry that I've done this, or there's just this guilt and this admission of guilt. I don't know if you'll ever hear it from them. I don't know if you'll ever see it from them and recognize that feeling in them, but I feel it here. Okay? Now, your outcome for July, Capricorn, is the Four of Cups in reverse. I'll show you this card upright. This card has been coming out a lot in these last half of readings. But reverse for your outcome. Let me see. So this is a tough one. This is a tough one to feel. This is a tough one to get in touch with because, normally the Four of Cups is about an offer coming to us, usually from the universe or, serendipity or something like that, or coincidence, whatever it is. And we're not wanting the offer. We're not wanting to engage, or we're not wanting to accept whatever is being offered to us. But that's in the upright. I don't know if it... This is really throwing me for a loop, and I wonder if it's because I had to pause and disconnect from the energy for a second. Is this about apprehension maybe, or maybe even confusion, or a lapse in a lapse in maybe feeling assured of something? Because the Four of Cups, again, that offer comes to us and we don't want it. And the deeper meaning to that usually is it's an offer of something that you actually need or want or would actually benefit from. And now with it being in reverse, I feel like there's like a total ignorance to this period. So is all this for naught? All of this energy in the Magician, the Chariot, Four of Swords in reverse, and the Ace of Cups, is all that for naught? Because again, I feel there's an incredible pull with that triplet in the center. That's not going to apply to everybody's life, and it's not going to always be about a partner or anything to do with children. You know, this could be vices, this could be familial relationships. You know, it's a general reading, it can run the gamut. But with this Four of Cups, I feel as though maybe the opportunity or the offer of what you need, even if you don't know you need it, isn't even going to be made. Is this like about maybe burned bridges? Okay. Okay. So if you leave a situation or move towards something, you might unintentionally burn a bridge with someone. However, I'm not sure that is going to cost you in the end, because I feel like, again, an apprehension or an uncertainty here, and maybe even catching someone off guard. You know, surprise, I moved out in the middle of the night. You know, I don't know. And that really throws someone for a loop. Now, the person that you're leaving, the situation you're leaving, whatever, burning a bridge, usually when we use that phrase, it connotates like we're losing something. We're cutting our nose to spite our face. We're really harming ourselves in the long run. I'm not sure if that is true. Maybe that's how you perceive it. Maybe that's how they perceive it. But I'm not sure that that is actually the objective truth, as much as we can have objective truth, right? And just, you know, to go with the artwork here of how, you know, we have this cocktail being offered to this woman after there are 3 empty glasses there by her feet. This could be the turning down of that, okay? Now, not specifically one single cocktail, but more to the point of maybe some of you are getting away from indulgent behavior, or, you know, drinking too much, smoking too much sex, too much TV, too much food, too much fast food, whatever a vice might be, whatever there might be a bit of a crutch or a bit of a escapism associated with something. Some of you might be removing yourselves from that type of behavior. I'm not sure. Very interesting. That one was hard. I'm gonna be honest. That was hard to really figure that one out. Your overall energy, Capricorn, for July is the Justice card, the Major Arcana card for Libra. So some of you might be dealing with a Libra, but you don't have to be. More quickly to the point, Justice, the justice system. Again, for those that are, this is a relationship situation, or even a situation where I mentioned earlier where you might need clearance for something from lawyers or people who have copyrighted materials that you need to use. Whatever, the justice system, court systems, you know, legal fees, all that kind of stuff is at play for a good portion of you. Now, in other cases where it's not, you know, the legal stuff and divorces and marriages and dissolving of relationships through, you know, official documents filed in the county, justice in general would be talking about this pivotal moment in your life, however long this whole situation has played out for you, Capricorn, is anchored in what is right and what is wrong. For you, for them, for everybody involved. And sorry to say, somebody gets punished. Somebody gets their ass kicked. Hopefully not literally in the physical world. Hopefully nobody's out there, you know, taking justice and matters into their own hands and causing physical harm to other people. But there is this punishment, and looking at this card, it's like a corporal punishment. It's like old school, you know, as you can see, go get that spoon, or for my grandma, when she was like, go get a switch, you know? I'm not here to condone that, And I'm not here to say that that is exactly what's going on, but there is like this punishment that someone will endure of some type. I'm not saying physical, although it could be, but I'm, you know, tying it back into the legal system. We could be talking jail time, right? We could be talking probation. We could be talking heavy legal fees that cripple you. Like, that feels like a punishment. You're garnishing my wages. I owe so-and-so thousands upon thousands of dollars. Like, somebody is getting their ass kicked or ass handed to them by justice. Okay? However it falls out, and that's the slightly cruel thing about the justice card, is it all falls out the way it's supposed to. If you end up on the short side of the stick, if you come up having to pay someone, having incurred a loss, or having to suffer the consequences of something, Capricorn, that's the way it's supposed to be. For many of you, I don't feel it will be. Some of you absolutely will, because that's statistics. Not everybody who watches this will come out, quote unquote, a winner. Some of you will lose. But for the most part, what I'm connecting to says justice is on your side. Even if it turns out kind of neutral, or you lose a little bit, you could have fared much worse, is kind of what that feels like for me. This has been a roller coaster of a reading, a topsy-turvy fairground ride. I feel like I should, you know, stick my head in a garbage can and puke, because this has been a lot of up-and-coming energy, a lot of inspiration and drive over here, feeling settled over here, and then bang, with all that triplet in the middle there, and then the outcome and the overall. Oh my God. Through the ringer, Capricorn, through the ringer. All right, seriously, that's the end of the reading. If you liked what you saw here today, there's a like button down below. Go ahead and hit that for me. You can leave a comment down below as well. Let me know how this resonated in your life. I would love to read that. You can, I almost forgot. You can share this video across your social media platforms. Let other people know that you're watching my videos here on YouTube, over on your Twitter page, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, wherever. Go for it. Go ham. Share me all over the place. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed, making sure you hit the notification bell so that you can see when these uploads actually appear. Within minutes or seconds of me actually hitting the button, you will be notified, and it's like internet magic. And of course, doing any and all of those things is going to help my channel grow, guys. I've had incredible growth over the past couple of months. Lots of new subscribers, not lots, but a few new clients, and it's just been a really phenomenal experience thus far, and I want to keep it going. So if you want to help me with that, any and all of those actions will help me towards my goal and help me continue along this path, okay? Capricorn, I'll be back in a few weeks giving you the mid-Julys. I promise I'm going to do it. And then after that, I'm going to do the August readings, and at some point, maybe I'll do a random reading. We'll see. You know, I'm waiting for the inspiration to hit me, so, you know, that's always pending. That's always to be continued, okay? All right, Capricorn, again, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. Take care. Bye.